Hello, this is ZachDaniel, and I am here with a Let's Play I'm going to do of Thomas Was Alone. This is just a fantastic little game. It's a puzzle platformer. It's not super puzzly. I mean, I don't think it's going to stump anyone. It's more about the atmosphere and the story. This game is basically a story in game form without being a point-and-click adventure. It's beautifully made, beautifully narrated. I've played it before. I want to play it again for you guys to see. I don't know how much commentary I'm going to provide, but you know, I'm definitely going to let the narrator speak when he's speaking and not interrupt him. And I'm just going to go for it. So let's start a new game. Thomas Was Alone. The program was a failure. People forgot this. It was a massive flop. The coders started adding name strings to the AIs as a joke. Thomas AT23612 wasn't special. Okay, that
Thomas was alone. Wow, a weird first thought to have.
movement keys. There you go. Too bad the intro cut off. So I'm just using the arrow keys to move around.
Thomas decided to start listing his observations for posterity.
A good idea,
One,
Tom.
the whole alone thing. 2, portals. They led somewhere. He'd yet to work out where. 3, falling. Thomas was absolutely fantastic at falling. He was almost as good at falling as he was at observing.
Alright, before I go through this portal, I'm just going to turn the game volume up a little bit, because I love the music and the narration in this game. Alright.
Okay, interesting. Thomas couldn't fall past this block. Think, damn it, think. What if there was some kind of inverted fall? Some way to... what's the word? Jump.
Very clever, Thomas. Let's jump up these steps.
Worked! Thomas had solved the great inverted fall mystery.
Quite a mystery it was. Something's askew here.
A big jump. But Thomas noted there was no real danger in missing it. The world didn't want him to fail here. It was pushing him, but gently.
It was. Alright. 0.5.
This all seemed a little dangerous. The world was not to be trusted. It was unstable, and it seemed to Thomas that it could let him down at any moment.
Oh, yes, the world was
He was
unstable.
starting to suspect it might even be doing so on purpose. Nah, paranoia.
Definitely paranoia. Why would somebody do that to Thomas? Sweet little red guy.
Thomas wondered whether the portals were actually taking him anywhere. He felt like he was making progress, but there wasn't really any way to know. He seemed to be moving predominantly up and to the right, which might, or might not, be important.
Up and to the right.
It might have been paranoia again, but Thomas could have sworn the world was becoming more complicated. It always seemed to be one step ahead of his skills.
Yes.
Designed just for him. He wondered why. Was the world testing him? No. Too obvious.
Yes. The world is designed. Interesting concept. I am playing this with the keyboard. First time I played it, I used my controller.
Something about the boiling, toxic, glowing water intimidated Thomas. He didn't like it. He certainly didn't want to swim in it.
Alright, so you see that little
He made
area.
another mental note. 4. Water. Not good. To be avoided.
Alright, so that's water down there. It'll kill me, so to speak. But this is a respawn point, as you can see. Once I pass through it, if I do something stupid like that, I respawn. So that's a nice little touch.
The loneliness was getting to Thomas. No amount of observation or obsessive note-taking could combat that.
So very alone. I love these lighting effects. Just so pretty. Such a simple game. So much heart. You know, by the end of this game, you really end up, you know, feeling for a bunch of little rectangles. It's just fantastic. But yeah, I played with my controller first time I played. It's not that difficult to play with a keyboard, but I just didn't feel like setting up the Joy-to-Key program.
Thomas had a new theory. The world was training him. He could feel himself getting smarter. There was the mental list to consider. Over the minutes and seconds since his spontaneous generation, he'd become a pretty skilled jumper.
Yes, this world is designed for me.
He just wished he had someone to share it with.
Oh, yes, Thomas was alone. We all want to just share our world with someone, don't we? We're all Thomas in our own little way. That sounds so sappy. I submitted hundreds of bug reports. I told that idiot this would happen, overlapping scripts. More than one AI was bound to be spawned into an environment at some point. Turns out I missed the point. That little error changed everything. Alright, so...
took an immediate and deep dislike to the skinny red rectangle. Who the hell did this Thomas think he was?
Who the hell is this Thomas? Alright, so use Q and E to swap between characters. So I could go back to Thomas, run around with him, press Q, go to Chris.
Chris had been doing fine. He wasn't the highest jumper, but he'd held his own. He'd even been graceful at times. Well, not technically graceful, probably the wrong word, but you know, fine. There was that skinny little runt leaping about like he owned the place.
God damn Thomas, he's finally not alone. Now, he's stuck with a guy who just doesn't show him respect. Alright, let's go find our friend Chris. I'm gonna help him out even though he's a twerp. There we go. Let's go, Chris. All the way down. Get away from Thomas. Thomas, you get away from Chris. Let's go.
Okay, this was more like it. A glowy white thing. Only Chris could get to it, which of course made it all the more enticing. What would it do? What new opportunity might this switch open up to him?
Well, here's where teamwork starts to come in, because as you can see, Chris can't jump that high. He actually, as much as he apparently detests Thomas, needs him.
Great. Another chance for Thomas to jump slightly higher than Chris. How fortunate. Seriously, this made the whole switch pressing thing entirely worthwhile.
Alright.
Was this good? Because on the surface, it did not seem good. Chris was pretty scared. Little Red seemed fine, happy to be on his merry little adventure. Chris couldn't shake the feeling that things had taken a significant turn for the worse since Thomas had joined him. Sure, he'd been able to piggyback his way to ever so slightly higher platforms, but where had that got him? Well, to ever so slightly higher platforms, which was sort of his point.
Of course, slightly higher platforms. Very quickly did we abandon that up and to the right theory.
Chris stared at Thomas with pure hatred. He seemed so very happy at their situation. Friends together, a brave fellowship of quadrilaterals on a quest for greatness. That would be fine. But it was all the obvious observation that Thomas was doing which grated. Every time they saw something vaguely new, Chris would hear a satisfied little from the vaulting idiot.
Wow,
He hoped the next portal would split them up, if only for a few levels.
that Chris is a real meanie. Thomas is just trying to help. So let's just work our way over like that. Perfect. Let's go. Chris. Man, why you gotta be hating? I mean, Thomas has done nothing but help you. No! Oh, no. Oh, okay. See, and there's my respawn. So, that's nice to have, obviously. Oh. Alright, let's wait for this platform. Go to the left. Once again, I have to point out the lighting effects in this game are just so pretty. Whoa, okay. Oh, alright. Let's wait for this. And jump. And jump. And let's head down. I stomp on you, Chris. Ha ha ha.
John knew. He knew that this was his chance. A moment to shine.
John!
This was game day.
Chris and John. It's like all my in-laws are playing the game. My brother-in-law's names are Chris and John. Can't remember if we come across any Bens or Davids in this game.
John needed room to show off his exceptional skills. As it was, he was trapped on the wrong side of these little dot things. Where'd they come from, anyway?
Oh, John's certainly superior. Not unlike my brother-in-law. Haha, just kidding. I love you, John.
John inhaled the air of the open space.
He can
and
jump.
It smelled of awesome.
It's awesome.
Time to flex those muscles, to put his training to use, time to show those little dots how it was done.
That's right. Chris,
John
you follow
decided
John.
to press the switch, to let the little dots catch up with him. John cared for his new allies.
John does care. He's
You
a
could
nice
tell
guy.
from the sympathetic expression he'd practiced in the mirror all these years.
Oh, practiced sympathy. Is that really sympathy, John? Alright, Chris. You go down first. Let's go. You're gonna need some help for this from Thomas. So, Thomas, let's go down. So as you can see, the puzzles aren't like super mind melters or anything like that. They're clever enough, and they do get more complicated. Don't get me wrong. Alright, Thomas is now going to need some help from John. John to the rescue. Thomas, go to the portal, and John. Last, certainly not least in his estimation. should start using the 1, 2, 3 keys. You can see in the bottom right, little representations of each of these little dudes. And the 1, 2, and 3 key will quickly grab them, so I don't have to necessarily rotate with Q and E. I can just hop any way I want. Alright, anyway. I just have to figure out who's which number. So 1 is Thomas, 3 is John. Oh, I can't quite press the lever. We're gonna need Chris to stack here. Nope. Bouncy fellas. There we go.
John was happy to keep helping. He felt it was important to his image that he was seen to help the little guys.
How very nice for you and your image, John. Let's go. Chris, I am going to use the Q and E keys. It's just a little easier to rotate through the cast. Alright, Chris. Can't jump all the way on top of John. Oh, I know. Let's get John moved over slightly. Chris, you create a space for Thomas. There you go. Teamwork. I don't care what Chris says. We're gonna work together. We're gonna like each other. Stop myself from falling in the hole. Nope. Alright, I think we might need John again. Alright. Let's do same procedure as before. And one more time. Okay, wait, there we go, yep. Jump! Chris. Thomas. Chris. Let's piggyback here, fellas. And up. Look at that lighting effect. I'm not going to stop loving that. Work as a trifecta here for this again. There we go.
He didn't mind them so much either. The red one, Thomas, had a charming way of applauding every time John jumped.
Oh no. Alright, let's... Alright, Thomas, Chris... Chris, run and jump. There you go, buddy. And John. Let's go. Very sporty fellow, that John. Let's go. Alright. For the next episode, I'm going...
Angry orange one was less immediately likable, but his unremitting cynicism and tutting amused John.
Unrelenting cynicism. Quite amusing, apparently. Oh, so close. And let's go, Chris. Alright, so I think we're gonna need John's help for this. Alright, oh, okay. Wait. Alright, John. Ready? I don't know if I'm ready. Oh. Alright, there we go. And we're off. John and Thomas. Off to the next land.
This was interesting. A floating target. This would require coordination, balance, and timing. John was sure the dots would be lost, but he was happy to guide them to triumph.
What a nice fella. If not a little bit of a superiority complex, but kind of deserves it. I mean, these guys
maybe that's what the dots were for. They were there to extend John's reach, to make his performance even more impressive.
Whoa.
John liked the thought. He decided to keep them.
Oh, very kind of you, but that's not your decision, John. Let's go, Thomas. The initial group possessed simple variations in size and strength. More complex configurations were inevitable as the error spread. These variations became increasingly extreme. I'm going to end the episode here.
This was how Claire would die. She knew it would happen eventually.
Poor Claire's going to die.
Rubbish at jumping, and she moved slowly. She felt a little like her continued existence was breaking some kind of natural order.
Well, stay tuned next time to see what happens to Claire.
A dramatic death.
Thanks for watching.